So you want to get a lean body. Awesome. That's a great goal. You're at the right place as well, because in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips for getting a lean body that if you implement, you will start seeing results. And I want to emphasize this implementation part of things because it's so easy to fall into this trap of gathering more information, getting more tips, reading more, watching more videos, but not really implementing any of the advice. And at the end of the day, information is not enough. Knowing is not enough. If information was enough, everybody would be lean, rich, and happy. So at the end of the day, you want to take this advice and implement into your lifestyle. Now, if you're new here, my name is Mario Tomic. If you'd like to learn more about fitness, nutrition, how to make this a lifestyle, consider subscribing below. Also, make sure to hit that bell icon to enable notifications for future videos. And now let's dive into it. Now, the first tip that I have for you for getting a lean body is to frequently reassess your goals, your progress, and your processes, because it's so easy to fall into this autopilot mode. And we humans, we're all about that autopilot. We're all about repeating the same thing. Most of our day-to-day behavior is the same. Most of our thoughts day-to-day are the same. And if you look at your yesterday, day before, week before, it's pretty similar. And that's what most people do in the gym as well. You kind of fall into this autopilot, you keep doing your program, you don't reevaluate often enough, and you just get stuck in this rut. And then at the end of the day, 5 years later, you look back and you look exactly the same. You haven't seen any progress. So don't be like most guys in the gym. Look at this from a perspective of reevaluation, optimization. Start looking at things more deliberately and more specifically. And whenever you see a chance to optimize, or when you see yourself naturally slipping into that more like laziness, or not really trying as hard, or not being as deliberate, you want to snap out of that quick and go back into the process, because laziness is really the natural state and we all gravitate toward laziness by default. So if we're not consciously pushing for reevaluating our goals, looking at exactly, are we progressing? Like, does the data say that we're actually moving forward? And how's our process? Could we do things better? Are we training hard enough? Are we specific enough with our diet? Are we precise enough? Are we sleeping well? Like, these things require constant reevaluation. This is not something that you can just set and forget, because if you set and forget, you slowly start getting weaker and weaker, looser and looser, and then by the time you know it, a year later, you haven't seen any results, and now you just lost a year without really optimizing anything, without getting the most out of it. So reevaluate, reassess, look at your process, look at your goals, look at exactly what you're doing, and you will immediately start seeing better results, not just now, but also moving forward. Now, the second tip that I have for you for getting a lean body that's going to help you with consistency is to start recognizing when you're falling for black and white thinking. Start recognizing when your brain is defaulting to that narrow framing bias, where if you can't hit that 1 hour workout, the brain tells you, oh, you may as well chill. It's not worth to go there for 30 minutes. It's not going to be a good workout anyway. Or when the brain says, oh, you just had that one meal and that wasn't planned for, so let's forget about it for this weekend and let's just eat whatever and we'll resume on Monday. These are traps. These are mental traps, and it's called black and white thinking. And it's something that will really destroy your progress and not allow you to be consistent. You see, this journey is all about consistency, and actually putting in the effort despite the situation is really the key. And that level of effort will vary over time. Sometimes you can dedicate an hour and a half for a great workout. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. 30 minutes is better than 0 minutes. 1 push-up is better than 0 push-up. And really, most of the game is about showing up. And even if that doesn't really generate the result in the short term, remember, in the long term, the fact that you're showing up, you're still cultivating that habit of consistency. So even if that 15-minute workout didn't necessarily deliver the hypertrophy results, the strength gains that you want, even if it didn't transform your body, because no single workout will, same as no one single salad will just make you ripped one day, but it will cultivate the habit of you making a better choice. It will cultivate a habit of you not giving up, of you not being a quitter, and you being someone who's not black and white, but actually always seeking to maximize whatever the situation allows for. And this one thing, if you can master this, you will be consistent and you will ultimately reach your goal. Now, the third tip that I have for you for getting a lean body that's more on the practical side of things is to look for any opportunity in your life where you can move more, where you can be more active, because it's so easy to fall for this trap where you're basically sedentary and going to the gym. Your lifestyle isn't an active lifestyle. And there's so many opportunities that we all have where you can add a little bit more activity in our day-to-day that will make this process of getting leaner so much easier. Examples: walking between the sets while you're doing your workout, not sitting down. Another example, at work, for every hour that you sit down, taking a 5-minute walk, just a 5-minute break. That's not only going to help you lose more body fat and get deeper into that fat loss mode, but it's also going to help you have better focus in your work. And if you do that for 8 hours, 8 times 5, 40 minutes of extra walking throughout the day will make a huge difference and is going to make the whole process a lot sustainable. Taking the stairs instead of the escalator. So these small little things, trying to do a little bit more with your body instead of, again, defaulting back to that sedentary, lazy mode. And that's, again, what the body wants. The body just wants to conserve energy, especially when you start losing body fat. When the body senses that you're in that fat loss mode, when not a lot of calories is coming in, the body will want to slow you down. So you do have to consciously start seeking opportunities to move more, to compensate for that metabolic adaptation, to compensate for that fighting back effect, and that's how you make this process more sustainable. This is how that lifestyle really does contribute to how lean you can get. Obviously, you can get lean if you're just completely sedentary and you manage your calories really well and you do all that stuff and you go hit the gym, but it's gonna be a lot harder. So seek opportunities, find ways to tweak them a little bit to allow for a little bit more activity, and this is gonna go a very, very long way in your journey to getting that lean body. Now, the fourth tip that I have for you for getting that lean body that's gonna help you with the process is to ignore the day-to-day weight fluctuations that you see on your scale. It's so easy to become a slave to that scale. It's so easy to get frustrated when you see that number on the scale go up despite being consistent with the process. And when you get emotionally detached to that scale ends up defining whether it was a good day or a bad day. That scale actually gets you frustrated, and that frustration gets you in that short-term thinking mode where now short-term, that donut or whatever that super tasty food you had, you eat that food because you forgot the long-term goal, and now that one bad decision leads to another bad decision. You can lose a day, then you end up losing a whole weekend, then it's a whole week, and then by the time you know it, you fell off track, and it all came down to that one fluctuation that you saw on the scale that you can't even control. Maybe you had a little bit less sleep. Maybe you were a little bit stressed out. Maybe the scale moved and it wasn't in the same place. Maybe you weighed yourself at a different time. Maybe you had a bit of a different workout, so it made you a little bit more sore. Who knows what it could be? There's dozens of variables that affect that scale that have nothing to do whether you gained or lost body fat. And it's so easy, again, to get detached to that one single number day to day, and it will really be a battle you can't win, and it's gonna drive you nuts. So detach yourself from that. If you wanna look at numbers, look at weekly averages, bi-weekly averages, monthly averages. Don't look at the day to day, and you will really be setting yourself up for a lot more consistency and really thinking more long-term and detaching yourself emotionally, and this will set you up for success. And definitely do not look at that day to day and judge yourself based on what that number says. Now, the tip number 5 that I have for you that's gonna help you get that lean body and that addresses one of the biggest sticking points most people have on this journey, which is related to social eating, social events, how to deal with that, is to actually start reframing those social events as opportunities to work on your social skills instead of seeing them as food-focused events. And I get it. Most of social events we have these days are related to food in some way. All special occasions have some food around. It's all about wining and dining clients, going out with your family, going out with your friends. There's always some food involved. But here's the thing. You don't have to buy into that story. You can create your own story and your own purpose with those events. So if you're someone who has a lot of different events, there's so many other things you can do instead of turning those events to be only food focused. This is an opportunity for you to improve your social skills, to get better charisma, to get better at storytelling, to get better at networking, to build a bigger network, deeper relationships with people. And I think when we start ignoring those benefits, and actually that's the real purpose of these events, it should be, then we fall for that thing where we end up eating more food because we're closed up, we're not really enjoying the event, we're not making the most out of it, and what else are you gonna do than eat? And this becomes a big problem, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a professional, if you have to attend a lot of these events and conferences, go out to dinners or lunches with clients and meetings, it can easily turn into something that becomes the crutch. It becomes the main limitation because, again, you're at a restaurant, you're at a buffet. You can't necessarily control everything that's inside of that food. So you really want to reframe that so you focus more on the people, so you eliminate those cravings. You're not even thinking about food. You eat a little bit, of course, like you make the most out of the situation, but the purpose of the situation is not to fall for that trap. Oh, it's a special occasion. Everything's a special occasion. If you eat every single time there's someone's birthday in your office, or there's a friend calling, or there's some family thing, you're gonna be eating every single day. There's always some kind of special occasion. So when you're going to your social events, reframe them, create a different story around them, and use them as an opportunity to better yourself, to get and become a better human being. And that's really the main purpose of those events. That's gonna get your focus away from food into mastery, building up a skill set, and that's gonna go a very, very long way for your life, because deeper, better relationships actually lead to a happier life, and a happier life leads to more consistency with other goals, such as getting better in terms of your physique, getting healthier, building habits, and overall improving your life. Now, another thing that's going to help you improve your life and get better results also is a video that I'm going to leave here at the end that covers 5 rules for getting a lean body. So definitely check out that video. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, make sure to hit that like button below. It means a lot to me to see your support. Also, if you want to work with me as your coach and as your mentor, there's a link in the description below for details about that, and I will see you in that next video.